So the Rockets are really serious about getting Jimmy Butler. And the reason we know this is because they offered Minnesota 4 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler. Four. Now, that is just an insane number, but then again, they won't really be worth that much because they'll be 27 through 30 probably until later when Chris Paul is old. And yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We just have to be positive for the Rockets right now, considering they are 1-3 and James Harden is out for a little bit. I think Chris Paul's suspension is over today or the next game, whenever that is. I honestly think that Minnesota should just take it. It's probably salary matching with PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon and then 4 first-round picks. You know, I know that Jimmy Butler has really been doing great things for Minnesota lately, but Cat looks like a former shell of himself. He doesn't look good at all. I think that Jimmy Butler being there in Minnesota is really hurting Cat. And I don't know what you do, especially when you've got, Jimmy Butler. He has a lot of miles on his legs, and Cat is your franchise player who you just paid like $28 to $30 million a year for the next 5 years or something like that. And it's really it's not worth it, in my opinion. I think that they should accept the deal and get Jimmy Butler out of there. Now, there may be some question of whether he can fit with Chris Paul personality-wise too. And I personally don't think that he fits anywhere personality-wise. But, that's just my opinion. We would have to see of where he is. I think that Houston is filled with veterans, and that's what he's looking for. Veterans who want to win, and they almost beat Golden State, which I guess was as good as winning the title for Houston Rockets fans. But I think that just go all in. If you're trying to win a title, this is probably the way to do it, because you've got Jimmy Butler, Chris Paul, James Harden, Clint Capella, and then, the normal fillers, the 3-and-D guys. Well, less D, but there's some 3 in there. I don't see a reason not to do this deal for Minnesota, other than Thibs being Thibodeau. He's very attached to Jimmy Butler, and that is very evident based on the fact that he rejected Josh Richardson, Kelly Olynyk, and a protected first-round pick. I'm sure that some of the Houston picks would be protected, probably the latter two, the two that are farthest away, because Houston will probably be in shambles by then with Chris Paul playing on one leg. And yeah, it's going to be rough for Houston in the future, especially if they do this deal. But I think this deal could definitely propel their chances. They have a nice bench. It'll be significantly less nice once they trade for Jimmy Butler, but I think the star power may make up for the loss of Eric Gordon off the bench. So I think you honestly just should probably take this risk, and there's not too much to be worried about when it comes to this. So yeah, Rockets are 1-3. This could probably help them turn it around. Then again, Jimmy wouldn't be the lone star. So I think the Rockets should definitely do this. I think Minnesota should definitely do this, and maybe Cat will come back to his normal self, which, man, Minnesota needs, because if he's this upset or, this distracted from this, then there definitely needs to be something done about it. And it doesn't seem like Minnesota has Cat's back when it comes to this, because you haven't heard anything from the Minnesota franchise defending Cat. It's just Jimmy Butler talk. So I think Minnesota should definitely have Cat's back, considering they're paying him a lot of money and he's their franchise player. And get Jimmy Butler out of Minnesota. He doesn't want to be there anyway. Yeah, he's balling out, but, it's been 4 games. It's probably not sustainable. He'll probably go down a little bit in terms of production. Just trade him. Just do it. 4 first-round picks and Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker. That's not a bad deal. I don't know who else they would put in there for salary reasons. Maybe Brandon Knight and PJ Tucker. I don't know. But I think that would be a combination of win now. But they wouldn't really win now. They would probably miss the playoffs. And also, it would be a kind of move for the future. So watch out for the Houston Rockets. They might make a deal soon. And let's just hope they do. Have something interesting to talk about.